I don't even need to have my AC on because it's not. Come on, why is this doing that? This is annoying. Oh, let me take my blue light glasses off. I only had them on because it's been. I want to. Why is this doing this? I need my phone to act right, and it's not for whatever reason. I'm sorry that it's tilted, but the way my little thingy is set up, I got a new one, but I just haven't pulled it out of the box yet. But yo, I got a question. I got a real honest question. Do y'all hate locks? Like, and I'm not really interested in your opinion if you don't have the ability to grow them, because you are not a person with hair that is textured enough to grow locks. But if you are someone who can grow locks because your hair is textured, I'm interested in your opinion. Do y'all hate locks? Because I just had a whole conversation with my coworker, and we talk about stuff a lot at work. He and I, we just have we have conversations about like what's going on in our lives, and sorry, I gotta put my shades on, and the experiences that we're having. And so he it's not even about dating necessarily, but because we have had conversations about that, I feel like he'd be trying to put me on in one way or another. And so he basically says something to the effect of most black men don't like locks. And I thought that that was a very audacious statement to make, because how can you speak for an entire group of people? You'll never hear me say black women all blah blah blah, because number one, I know I'm not most black women, but number two, I'm never going to make the assumption that what I jive with, or what makes the most sense to me is what's going to make the most sense to other people and will jive with them as well. I don't make that mistake. Plus, I've lived long enough to know that I'm not everybody's cup of tea. And not only am I okay with that, I actually prefer it. Hi, the cynical one. Hi, gender warlord reloaded. And someone says it's their birthday. I'm birthday. Hold on. I'm trying to can. But I can't. Okay. There we go. I just hope that doesn't fall down while I'm driving. Happy birthday. So yeah, we were having this conversation, and I think he was coming from a place of, he thinks I'm doing myself a disservice because I have locks. He told me last week that he thinks I'm a breath of fresh air in general. Like, he's not interested in me. I'm not interested in him. It's not like that. It's not coming from that place. But I think he genuinely has these conversations with me because he genuinely wants to see me win, so to speak. I think he thinks that by telling me what he feels most men's preferences are, that I could use that to my advantage. And I had to tell him, because then he started trying to frame it like, if you know that most men are visual, he says superficial, but I corrected him, and I'm like, I don't even feel like most men are superficial. I think that most men are visual creatures. Yes, I think men see something pretty and they want it for themselves, whatever their definition of pretty is, whatever that means to them. And I'm fine with that. I'm totally okay with that. And if those two things don't meet or match, meaning what I think is pretty on me doesn't meet your standard of what you think is pretty on a woman, that's fine. Like, I'm not supposed to be for everyone, right? And so I said to him, I'm less concerned with how someone received me, as I am more concerned with how I put myself out there. How I present to you means more to me than how you receive it. So I also said to him, this is not a hairstyle. And I have to thank my mom for that, because my mom has had her locks since I was in middle school. Well, really high school. She started going natural when I was in middle school, and then she wore her hair in a fro and in 2-strand twist for a while, locked it. Right? So most of my life, my mom has had locks. And I'm only going into this because I think it helps lay the foundation for how I view locks and why I say that this isn't a hairstyle. So when my mom started growing her locks, I don't think I was really privy to the reception that she got as a result of it, because I was still a kid, number one. And number two, that would be something very personal for her to explain. So I think I'm going to have a conversation with her about that on my channel later on this week. But I thought, let me come up here and ask y'all, like, how do y'all feel about locks? Like, I might post a poll or something on my tab, my community tab, if I can. I don't even know how to do that. If I can, if it allows me, I will. But if not, I'm probably going to put it on my Instagram, because I know how to do it over there. And maybe on TikTok, who knows? But either way, shout out to you, Gender Warlord. Yeah, you are one person, but he said, no, that's a shot on some level, because locks are my preferred style of natural. Okay. And I didn't even bring that up to him, because I was like, yo, what about all the dudes that have locks? You trying to tell me the dudes that have locks really not gonna fuck with me because I got locks? Like, really? Okay. And it's not even that. Like, I don't feel like just because you're a dude that has locks, you gotta be with a chick that got locks. It's not even about that. But what I said to him was, I'm like, this isn't a hairstyle. For me, this is about who I am as a person, and a little bit about spirituality, because I got to a point in my growth as a woman and as a person that my hairstyle is not indicative of how I express myself. At one point in my life, it was. At one point in my life, I loved changing my hair just because it was a form of my expression. But I think as you age, you are much more intentional about that expression and what that expression garners. So I got to a point while I was in Texas. Maybe it has something to do with me being there. Maybe it has something to do with me losing my job at the same time. Like, all of these things were happening, and I just said, yo, I want to clear out all the noise, right? Let me just get it back down to brass tacks. And everybody who has had locks, grown them from short hair or whatever, most people refer to that process as the ugly phase, because it's true. Locks are beautiful when they're long and full and you can style them and so on and so forth. But I was here for the quote unquote ugly phase of it for me too, because I've never really wanted long hair. Long hair has never been a goal of mine. I guess that's why it was easy for me to not wear weaves, because I never cared about having hair down my back or having to do all this to move it out of my way and all. I never felt like I needed that. I actually love the freedom of having short hair and being able to just get up and go and pick up and go and move about the cabin freely, so to speak. Hey, Mr. Suge. He says, I like them. Thank you. Thank you. I like them too. But the thing is, I didn't get them. I didn't start my locks because I wanted men to like me for them, if that makes sense. I started my locks merely to say, I had natural hair before that. So it wasn't about accepting myself in my natural state, because I had already accomplished that. It was more so about, I've never done this before. This one thing that my mom has done all of my life, and shout out to her for having locks most of my life. But I used to not want to do it because I already look so much like my mom. I'm like, I'm not doing locks. Plus, I always like to braid my hair. I would braid my hair at least 3 times a year, just because I wanted to. Whether it was like knotless, long box braids, a short bob, Bantu knot extensions. Like, I used to do all of that to my own hair, right? So for me, it was a long time ago that I decided I didn't want to go to the beauty salon anymore, because it was, to me, a waste of money, right? Once you learn how to do your own hair, you're like, why am I going to pay somebody to do something that I know how to do and can do it better in terms of what I want it to come out looking like, and save a couple dollars? You know, saving a couple dollars was always the last end of it, but the beginning part of it for me was always, okay, this is self-expression. I want a switch up. I'll buzz it off one day, and then I'll put braids in it the next. I'll have a mohawk one day, and I'll buzz it off the next. Like, these are things that, if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen all of that. If you've been friends with me, and I know most of y'all have not, but people who've been in my life for 10 years have seen me have a myriad of hairstyles, whether it was a curly fro, Bantu knots, braids, a mohawk, a Caesar. You know, I used to love getting designs cut into my head when I would get a haircut. I had this little heart on the side with a little lifeline going all the way up to here. That was my favorite when I was rocking a Caesar. I loved that. And I got the head for it. I'm not going to lie. Like, all you need is a big set of hoop earrings and the head for it, and you could rock a Caesar as a woman. But because I've done that actually multiple times throughout my life, the first time I did it was in high school. The second time I did it was in college. The third time I did it was when I had got my first corporate job. And the fourth time I did it was just a few years ago when I was living in Texas, right? So I've done that multiple times. I don't know if I'll do that again, but right now it's locks. Because you know why? I don't even have to think about my hair no more. And I love the freedom of not thinking about my hair no more. I just don't think about it. It's just not a consideration. It's just there. And while I've had to learn how to retwist it, and you know, some people will say that I probably manipulate it than I need to, because folks will argue that with locks, the better off they'll be. But I think some of my programming and conditioning has yet to free me, because I be like wanting to wash my hair every week. But anyway, I digress. Locks are all about accepting and being comfy in your own skin, even through the ugly stage. Exactly. And I cannot express to you enough how comfortable I am in my skin. I love Toya. Love her. Love her down. Okay? And so that's probably part of it too, getting to that place where it's like, all right, yeah, I also want to be a beacon to that, right? So whether you know me or not, you see me walking about the world, there's probably one thing you can walk away from after you take me in visually. Oh, she fucks with herself. She loves herself. She's comfortable in her own skin, right? And see, Mr. Shook to You said he don't even retwist no more. I was watching a content creator that I follow on Instagram, and she was talking about how it had been 8 months since she had retwisted her hair. And I'm like, yo, I want to get to that point. I'm not there yet, but I want to get to that point where I'm not so, and I think in my defense, when you're first growing locks, I think you do have to be a little bit more meticulous about how often you retwist them, because you're still training them to be what you want them to be ultimately, right? But I'm past the budding phase now. We're 2 years in. I think I'm past that part. But I do aspire to get to the place where I don't need to retwist it very often. But forgive me I think I took the conversation well. I don't think he was trying to be offensive at all. But I think where I may have had the opportunity, or I could have taken the liberty to get a little heated, I didn't, because I'm like, yo, this is a man who, we've had conversations about this before, so I knew where he was going with it. I knew he was coming from a place of, yo, you might be blocking your blessings because you're, sorry, I'm trying to get it back to the location that it was in. There we go. And so I'm like, yo, do I come across as desperate? Because I'm not desperate. I'm not out here longing for male attention. I just want y'all to know, like, that's not an issue. It never was an issue for me. At 300 pounds, it wasn't an issue for me. Hair or no hair, it's not an issue for me. I pretty much said to him, I'm like, yo, if you can't get past the aesthetic to see what's inside, then I'm good. I'm cool on you. That's not the reason why I got locks, but it's the reason why I've kept them. Because as a man, if what you're seeing is a turnoff to you merely because it's not the most pretty version that you think I could be, then I'm not your cup of tea, and that's cool. It's all good. Shout out to Third Ward in the building. Shout out to Third Ward. Thugger Ward. All is well with me. So yeah, I was like, yo, I actually was like, yo, I wish we could have this conversation via live. Like, I wanted y'all to hear what he was saying. Because he's really on some, yo, most black men don't like locks. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I've gotten some feedback that says otherwise. Like, I've never gotten any feedback that was like, you're ugly because you have locks, or I could never talk to you because you have locks. That don't never be the conversation. Listen, I got a flapjack booty, and I be tooting that thing up, and I don't get no complaints. It is not wide as all outside back there. I am not packing a gat in the back of the act. But I'm pretty, and I know how to speak, and I'm knowledgeable about a wide range of areas and topics. I'm a whole goofball. I know how to cook. I smell good. I'm soft. I got a pretty smile. Like, I have redeemable qualities. I'm not over here ugging it out. I'm just not. I take care of myself, So these are things I just never worry about in terms of being a deal breaker. So if you're a dude who looks at me and is disgusted because I choose not to get a bust down in a BBL, you're not for me. And that's okay. You can stay over there with those girls that do that. There's a reason why we are all not walking around here looking the same. Third War said, I like the locks progression on you, looking good. Yeah, see, you might not have liked Mentirosa, ya tu sabe. You might not have liked them when they were all short and looking like spiders having a meeting on my head. But now I got a little length to them. I don't quite have hang time yet, but we getting there. So I just wanted to ask. I wanted to get up here and see if any men would come in the chat and talk about how they don't like locks, and maybe even speak towards what this gentleman was saying to me as far as most black men don't like locks. I don't know if he was saying it because he felt like he needed to knock me down a peg. I don't know. I don't really know what his motivation was for striking up that conversation with me after we had talked about our weekends. But I don't take it negatively. I said to him, I feel like a lot of this is based on ignorance. A lot of men, I think, even not just men, I think people of other cultures are not really knowledgeable about locks. Even when it comes to like calling them locks. There's some men who call them dreads, and I don't like that. I dislike calling them dreads because I don't think they're dreadful. I call them locks because I feel that's more appropriate. Your hair is locked into a position, you know, whatever. But tomato, tomato. Third, shut up. I do not have nothing. It's fine. It's really okay. Like, my family always jokes and says I got Pop-Pop's booty, which is my great grandfather. Okay, for reference. So yeah, like I'm fine on not having the fattest ass. It's cool. God gave me titties, and then I went and had a breast reduction. It's all good. It's really okay. And then when I still had some boobs because I was fat, I lost weight. So now this is what I got. This is all I got. And it's fine. Again, no complaints from the people that I'm interested in or that are interested in me. I don't have any complaints. I don't get any notes. And if I did, I would take them in kind. I would. It's not flat, but you definitely got. All right, third, I'll take that. It's fine. Like I said, I be tooting it up. One of my favorite poses to hit in a picture is the jail pose. Let me squat down real quick. But again, that speaks towards my goofiness. I like to have a good time. I like to say things that you wouldn't expect. I'm playful, childish even sometimes. And so then he asked me, he followed it up with, well, what kind of guy are you looking for? What kind of guy? And I said, I like a man that can teach me something. I like a man that can appreciate what it is that I bring to his life, whether that be knowing how to make a good meal, having the ability to inject laughter into a somewhat serious situation, finding the levity in the heaviness of life. Appreciate that from me. Appreciate the fact that I'm gonna put on a good dress and a good shoe. You're not gonna have a girl that's out here looking bummy. Do I have my sweatpants days? Of course. Do I have my throw on a pair of biking shorts and a t-shirt with some slides to go to the store days? Absolutely. I'm going to the store right now. The only reason I'm not dressed like that is because I haven't been home yet. But I pride myself on looking a certain way that I like. I dress for the day I want to have. I tell people that all the time. I get compliments at work all the time about how I'm dressed and what I wear. And I always say to people, I just dress for the day I want to have. There are days, for the most part, I typically post every day on Instagram, and you'll see what I'm wearing every day. But here's a little secret. On the days that you don't see what I'm wearing, it's because I'm not fucking with my outfit that day. But for the most part, yes, you're going to see this fit because I intentionally wore this fit. This morning, I was undecided between wearing this, because I have on white pants with this shirt, and a dress. But I thought it might rain, and that's the only reason I didn't wear a dress. But I'm like, we only got a few more weeks left that we can still wear white pants. So I'm like, let me wear these white pants. And I was comfortable all day. And that's another thing. I dress for comfort. If you buy the shoes and you can't walk in the shoes, don't buy the shoes. I'm a big, I commit to the look too. That's another thing about me. I appreciate when a man can appreciate that I committed to the look. I got a compliment from one of my coworkers, a different guy. And he was like, wow, you really committed to that look. You look really nice today. And I was like, yeah, thank you. Because the compliment is nice. But when it's a specific compliment about how you put something together, because I'll wear heels maybe 3 times out of the week. I don't wear them every day. But depending on the outfit. Some outfits call for a heel, a good shoe. And some outfits do not. I have not given up on that level of femininity. Some women my age have given up on heels, period. And you won't see them in nothing but flats or sneakers. Never been a sneaker girl. don't have very many. The ones I do are all classics. Like I got a pair white and gray Huaraches. I got a pair of Reebok Classics and a couple of different workout shoes. Like one of my favorite workout shoes was a pair of Asics. But I have a pair of New Balances that I wear now, and another pair of sneakers that I wear to work out in. So yeah, your girl's not a sneaker nista. Your girl is not a sneakers wearing girl. What are you doing? Because I'm just trying to pull into the parking lot and everybody to the other side of the parking lot for some reason. Love that for me. This is one reason I hate coming over here. There's a shopping plaza kind of thingy over here, and it's I'm not stopping you from parking your car, ma'am. I'm backing into my spot. She went around the whole parking lot to do that, and she didn't even need to do that, but I digress. I understand everybody doesn't know how to drive like I do. Hi. See, I'm just parking my car, and that man just walked out and was looking all in my face. So I said hi. I need to I haven't bought any clothing or shoes in the past 5 years. Yeah, you gotta do that, Shug. You gotta do that. Did that lame nigga ask you what you bring to the table or what's your body count? No, he didn't ask me that because neither one of us is interested in each other. That third. So yeah, I wasn't even expecting him to go there, and he didn't. He kept it respectful. Cynical One says, I'm a sneaker girl, not a sneaker head, but I wear them on a regular basis though. And shout out to you. I think that's awesome. I'd love to see women have their sneaker game right. I love that. That's awesome. But it's just never been me. I think a lot of that is because my mom was never like, yo, I'm not spending all that money on a pair of sneakers. I remember the first time she bought me a pair of cross trainers. I loved them. I absolutely loved them. They were blue and white. They were like sky blue and white, and I loved them. But it taught me something because she was like, don't ask me for nothing else for the rest of the school year. You're not getting no other shoes. And I had to respect it. Like, all right, you spent like a good $120 on some sneakers for me. I get it. But I think because I had a mom who was like, yeah, you're getting one pair of shoes for the school year. You better make them work. And then I started working when I was in high school. Like I got my working papers when I was 14 and I started working and I started having to buy my own clothing and shoes and stuff. Then I started realizing like I'm not willing to waste a bunch of money when I could be practical and get this one pair that I could wear with these things and this one pair that I could wear with those things. And then you start realizing, okay, as long as you got a black pair, a brown pair, a gray pair, a white pair, whatever the case may be, right? You get older and you start being more practical. High top Huaraches were my go-to shoe to play basketball, and because of the ankle support they give you. Plus, niggas who play basketball in low tops look goofy. I think when you wear Chucks playing basketball, you look goofy. But I digress. I don't have much of a going out life either. But when it is time to go someplace, I do know what to wear. And that's what I love. I like having the options. I like having a variety of options of things to wear. And, also being able to switch things up. I like that too. But again, this goes back to self-expression, right? So I used to love having the variety to do things with my hair. And even now, I haven't really styled my locks because they're not really long enough to. I can put them in Bantu knots, and I probably will do that again soon because I liked how they looked when I unraveled them. But as they grow longer, I will start to do different styles with them because I'll have the ability to do that. But right now, this is it. If I don't back into a ponytail or put them in 2 ponytails to the side, that's it. This is it. This is what you get. But I wanted to come up here. I don't see very much in terms of engagement about the question, but I'm gonna come back. I'm doing this now just because I wanted to get it out, but I'm gonna come back and have a conversation with y'all maybe this weekend. Hopefully my mom will join me for that as well, because she has locks and because she can probably attest to what I'm talking about right now. Maybe dig back into her crates about what experiences she had, because I know we talked about it. My mom's lighter than I am. She has light eyes. I did not get those. Unfortunately, I did not get the light eyes. I just got the brown eyes and the light hair. But I think my argument for that is I think that her experience with having light eyes and light hair and being light skinned probably colored her decision to wear locks, because it made her kind of take that power back. Like, if you're going to look at me, get past this first. Because when my mom wore her hair straight, she never really wore it long straight. She always had a shortcut. And my mom looks good with short hair, and it always looked good on her. But because my mom could be considered ethnically ambiguous to other people, to us, you know she's black, right? But I've seen her get hit on by Puerto Rican men, Asian men, Arab men, all kinds of men, because she has those features that most men in general tend to like. A man will like an exotic looking woman. And I think my mom was very much that, especially when she wore her hair straight in a shortcut. My mom has very light hair. Our hair lightens in the summer. So, it would be close to blonde looking on very light skin with light eyes. And then my mom's tall. She's 5'10", you know? So she used to get a lot of attention. And I think once she locked her hair, she started to realize that some of that attention was dying down. Not that it dissipated completely, because moms is still moms, right? She still looked like what she looked like. Y'all seen what she looked like. Y'all seen her. She was on the Rolanda show. She did some other talk shows too. But I think I started to have that experience too. Once I lost weight, it's like, all right, y'all wasn't with me shooting in the gym, so I'm really good on you giving me all this attention now that I've lost weight. But not as much as her, because I didn't have those other features. But yeah, I thought it was interesting that he keeps finding ways to tell me that my locks aren't pretty. He didn't say that, but he keeps finding ways to be like, yo, you sure you want to wear locks? Are you doing that on purpose? Don't you think you could do something else? And it's like, no. You want me to go get a weave? Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. He said, yeah, you're a little more browner than your mom, but your mom is a pretty woman. She is, for sure. I would never say anything, and it's not just me being biased. It's me understanding what prettiness is across the board in general. And my mom hits a lot of those high notes, or she did when she was younger. Now that she's older and some things look a little bit different than they did, maybe she doesn't hit all of those high notes, but she's still not somebody that, even in her age range, she's not somebody that a dude would be like, yeah, nah, I'm a hard pass on that. You know, I'm 5.5 years in the growing stage. They are touching my butt now. These joints are too long. I kind of want to trim them down. Yeah, I actually said to somebody recently, like, oh no, I do miss living down south. Third, I'm sorry, I just saw that. I do miss living down south. I want to get back there soon, hopefully. Once my locks get shoulder length, I mean, like, to right here, like once they get to like right here, don't be mad if you see me with a short cut or a fro. Don't be mad if you see me starting to comb them out. Be down my back, all heavy and hot, because I'm already hot. This was my first summer with a little bit of hang time. This ain't really hang time, y'all. This is just grazing my neck. And I was already hot this summer with this little bit of hair. So I can only imagine once they get longer what that's going to look like. But also, because, and I said this to y'all before, you see how the ends are not locked on some of them? Like, I have I have a bunch of them, and then I got a couple. I got 3 locks that aren't even locked yet. So because of that, I would want to start them over. I would want to start them over with comb coils and see if I can get continuity throughout my head. And so I think a good time to do that is once they get to about here, either start combing them out or cut them shorter and then comb them out and then restart them. It's my thought. Um, yeah. Oh, hey, Mr. Z. Toya's mom was looking mighty fine on that talk show back in the 90s. Toya, ain't nothing wrong with your dreads. Thank you, Mr. Z. I appreciate that, but I really do want honest opinions from men. Like, do most men not like locks? Do most black men really not like locks? Because I have not. He asked me too. He was like, "Have you asked men that you've dated how they feel about your hair?" And I said, not explicitly like that, but if I meet someone, that might be part of the initial conversation just to see where their head's at. But I'm of the belief that if you come to me wanting some of this, then you already know what it's hitting for. So, like, you wouldn't come hollering at me trying to be like, yo, when you gonna get that bust down though? I'll pay for your weave. I don't think I attract that kind of man at all. I have never been propositioned by a man to go get a weave. Never. And being in this space specifically showed me that more men prefer a woman who shows up naturally versus a woman that's got to do all these things to herself in order to show up. Because I'll tell you, like I told him, I said to him, I'm like, yo, I would rather you see what you see of me and like that and fuck with me than for you to see me all done up in something that I'm not going to look like every day and want to holler at me like that. I would much rather, because the first thing I'm going to do is tell you this ain't every day. If you see me at the Philharmonic getting an event in, yeah, I'm going to be dressed all nice or whatever. And I'm going to be wearing some things that I wouldn't wear on a daily basis. But you need to know that this is not how I'm coming every day. Um, my grandma had beautiful locks as well, and like your mom, she was racially ambiguous. Even in her later years, she would get a lot of male attention. Yeah, my lady used to rock the low boy. She wanted to do it already, but I convinced her to go ahead and grow dreads because I wanted that. Mr. Z, I can't say this enough. I appreciate you so much. Your presence here is so necessary. I'm so glad that you're so vocal. I'm so creating content. I don't know what we would do if we didn't have you. Um, Third said, I think dreads on women are sexy and stylish, especially melanated women. My mother used to get a lot of male attention as well. She was ambiguous looking, but the product of 2 black parents. Yeah, shortly before she died, the records classify her race as unknown, but she was black. Yeah, yeah, yeah. My mom's mom is even more ethnically ambiguous, but try to tell that lady she not black. Try to tell my nana she not black. She just came back from vacation too, so she got a little tan, so she really feeling herself right now. But for the most part, I used to mix my nana up with random white women in the store because they looked the same to me. When I was younger, my nana don't have much melanin, but when she gets a tan, she looks really nice. Um, Let me go in the store, y'all. I'm not going to take y'all in the store with me, but shout out to you if you can wait for me to come back out. I'm only going to be a minute. I'm going to make this really quick, okay? I promise. All right? I just got to pick my grandmother up a soda. She texted me right when I got out of work and was like, can you bring me home a Coke? I was like, all right. I'll be right back. You guys, this guy, as y'all can see, this guy pulled in right next to me. All kinds of crooked. Yo, let me dismount my phone just so you can see. This is ignorant. This is ignorant, y'all. This is ignorant. Why would you park like this? Why? Not you. Well, look. Thank you. Bro, I could get out of the spot, but sir, nah, you know what? That's probably a woman. That's probably a woman who parked like that. That ain't no dude parking. UFO Kamikaze came in the building while I was in the store. Thank you. Hold up. What third ward said? Yes, Mr. Suge, we went to the store. Did you need something? I used to want to fight dudes for coming at my mom's. You know, I used to just be like, damn, what about me though? Y'all are my age. My mom ain't looking at you. Shout out to our phenotype, Cynical One. Shout out to our phenotype. I went through the same things with my mom. Let's take her while she's gone. UFO Kamikaze. I don't think that's nice. Third Ward Colombian, you're right. I love me a dreadhead. I'm not a stickler for long weave or permed hair. It all depends on the woman. Yeah, I mean, I think I looked good with straight hair. It's not even like that. But, you know, seasons change. Wasn't that a song? Yeah, like, I don't know. Variety is the spice of life. I believe in having a little bit of variety, you know, since everybody else is doing all the same things. Also, that lane is so saturated. The BBL bust down lane, that lane is so saturated. I'm good. Let me, and it's not like the lock lane ain't saturated. I'm not saying that either. Like, come on. Toya, you have no idea. When I used to work for auto parts dealer, I used to back in sideways and hit. Yo, yeah, I back in all the time. If you see my car not backed in, I had to have been in such a rush. But no, there's always enough time to back the car in. The car needs to be backed in. It needs to be backed in, so I can make a quick escape. But also so I could survey the scene. I'm very observant. I might not say nothing, but I seen it. I peeped it. Whatever it is, I peeped it. My twin brother was Drake's complexion. He had every black feature except for his complexion. Yeah. Like, I'm the darkest one in my family. No cap. They all light, bright, and next to white in my family. My great granny had blonde hair and blue eyes, but she had nigga naps. Make that make sense. Mr. Z, I park all the way in the back of the parking lot. Yeah, sometimes I do that too. People, I'm not gonna say people hate when I drive, because I tend not to park near the door. I just prefer not to. And I don't mind walking a little bit, especially like you said, to get away from everybody else. I swear I'm a people person. I just don't rock with people all the time. Sun exposure determines my complexion. Yeah, same here. Like, I haven't been to the beach much. I haven't been to the beach at all this summer, so I don't have any tan going on right now. Like, whatever tan I got is gone, because I was in Virginia Beach for 4th of July. So I got a little bit then, but it's dissipated now. I've been in air-conditioned rooms all summer, but the sun does lighten my hair, so I did get a little bit of that. I got a little bit of sun bleaching, and I love that for me. Home sweet home. See, even at home, I back into the driveway and I use my mirrors, y'all. I do have a camera. I have a rear camera, but I tend to use my mirrors because that's how I learned to drive, and so that's the way I do it. But yeah, I back into the driveway in my backyard to park. When I had an apartment, my landlord used to be like, "How do you do that?" Him and his wife used to be like, how do you do that?" No, I'm not on Discord anymore. I left Discord back when people were talking about me and saying things that were just really not true, and there was like a whole hot topic behind the scenes about me that I had no control over, and I was just like, you know what, fuck it, I don't even need Discord. So I deleted it from my phone. I probably still have a profile or whatever, but I don't even go on it. When I first joined Discord, it was to be a part of the Joe Budden podcast Discord, and I kept it for a while after I even stopped. They gave me a nickname in that Discord. That Discord was fun. They gave me a nickname in there because I had posted a picture of myself, and they was like, I think they was calling me socks and feet or something like that because my feet were showing. I'm not I got a pedicure. Don't get me wrong. Like I keep my feet nice, but like I'm not a here goes some feet pics girl. I'm not. That's not my thing. But yeah, I'm not on Discord anymore because it's like nibbers will ruin a good thing. I love to engage with people and have banter and add to a conversation and stuff like that. But then when it starts becoming accusatory and like just you swear you know some shit about me because you looked me up on the internet and you started trying to send stuff to other people to take me down. It's like, I don't know why you would do that. I come up here and tell y'all about my life all the time, and I'm never short on words about that. So it's like, if I remove myself from the chat, then will y'all stop? What if I just remove myself? I can just gracefully bow out of the chat. It's fine. Within 7 months of me getting my Infinity, someone scraped my front passenger door. That's exactly why when I drive the Z, I park far away from everyone. Yeah. Smart. All right, well, now since I'm home, y'all, I'm going to end the live. But hopefully y'all will come back for more of the conversation when I have it with my mom, because I think it'll be a cool discussion. I'll set it up so that you have something to look forward to on either Saturday or Sunday. But thank you for joining. The cynical one, you always hold me down. I really appreciate you for that. UFO Kamikaze, same. Like, I love when you come through the chat and be like, cutie Toya. Because if nobody else gonna say it, you gonna say it. But I appreciate everybody coming through, hitting the like button, and engaging with me on this topic. Hopefully you come back. And if not, peace, ease, and whatever you please. I'll see y'all on the next one.